You ever feel like your company is constantly chasing the latest tech trend, hoping this is the one, the magic bullet for success? Well, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you that for the greatest, most enduring companies out there, technology is, well, it's almost an afterthought? In this explainer, we are going to unpack that huge, mind-bending difference and show you exactly how to avoid the technology trap. So let's just get real for a second. Think about your own organization. Is technology your strategy? I mean, are you constantly chasing the next big thing, pouring money into another digital transformation, just hoping it'll give you an edge? If that sounds familiar, you might be falling into a very, very common trap. Because the most successful companies, they don't put technology first. Not at all. Okay, this number right here should stop you in your tracks. In his incredible research for Good to Great, Jim Collins discovered that a whopping 80% of executives from the most successful companies did not credit technology as a primary driver of their success, not even in their top 3 reasons. So, what's their secret? What do they know that so many other people are missing? And that question brings us to what we call the technology trap. You know, it's this seductive idea, the siren song that lures countless companies into mediocrity. Is this belief that the right piece of tech, the right software, can solve all your problems, when in reality, it often just papers over much deeper issues. This right here, this is the myth that holds so many companies back. It's the idea that if you just throw enough cash at the latest software or the fanciest AI, you'll magically transform into a great company. But the research is crystal clear. It just doesn't work that way. In fact, it's often a recipe for complete disaster. Now, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. You see, great companies are proactive. They have a really clear vision, and they carefully pick and choose technology to help them achieve that vision. But everyone else, they're reactive. They're totally driven by FOMO, the fear of missing out, and they just end up with this jumbled mess of expensive tech that doesn't work together and honestly doesn't get them anywhere. So, you think you need to be a tech pioneer to build a great company? Think again. The evidence is just overwhelming. Being the first to market with some new technology is absolutely no guarantee of success. In fact, it's often the careful followers, the thoughtful adapters, who end up winning in the long run. I mean, think about IBM. They didn't invent the first commercial computer. And Boeing, they didn't launch the first commercial jet. But they both became absolute giants in their fields. So why? Well, it's because they weren't pioneers of the technology itself. They were pioneers in its strategic application. They figured out how to use it to solve real-world problems better than anyone else. So here's the key takeaway from all the research. Technology is like a giant magnifying glass. It takes whatever you already are and just makes you more of that. If you're disciplined and doing great things, it'll help you do them even better. But if your organization is a mess, technology will just help you become a bigger, faster, more expensive mess. Okay, so if technology isn't the secret to greatness, what is? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's a concept that the greatest companies in the world use to filter every single decision they make. It's called the hedgehog concept. The hedgehog concept is basically your company's North Star. It's found at the intersection of 3 questions. What can you be the absolute best in the world at? What are you deeply passionate about? And what drives your economic engine? Once you find that sweet spot, that one simple, clear idea, it becomes the ultimate filter for everything you do, especially which technologies you decide to adopt. Walgreens is a perfect example of this in action. Their hedgehog is all about convenience. So when the internet came along, they didn't just build a website because everyone else was. No, they used it to make their stores even more convenient by linking their site directly to their thousands of physical locations. It accelerated what they already did best. Gillette is another great one. Their whole hedgehog concept is making insanely precise, high-quality products at a really low cost. So what did they do? They invested heavily in pioneering manufacturing tech that helped them do that one thing better than anyone else on the entire planet. They didn't get distracted by every shiny new fad that came along. All right, so if technology isn't the engine of your company, what is it? Think of it like this. It's the turbocharger. It's the thing that takes a good, solid engine and makes it truly great. But, and this is a huge but, if your engine is already sputtering and stalling, strapping a turbocharger to it is just going to make things blow up faster. Okay, this slide right here is really the whole thing in a nutshell. It is the core of everything we're talking about. If your company is a disciplined, well-oiled machine with momentum, technology will make it even more powerful. But if your company is a train wreck of confusion and chaos, technology will just make the eventual crash that much more spectacular. I absolutely love this quote. It's so blunt, but it is so, so true. If your company is fundamentally a mess, technology is not going to save you. It's just going to help you fail faster. And hey, maybe you'll have some pretty charts to look at on your way down. You see, great companies don't start with technology. They start with people. They get the right people on the bus first. Then they figure out where they're going with their hedgehog concept. And then they build a culture of relentless, disciplined action. And only then, at the very end of the process, do they step on the gas with technology accelerators to get there faster. The Vietnam War is a really tragic but powerful example of what happens when technology isn't aligned with strategy. The US had all the fancy toys, right? Overwhelming technological superiority. But what they lacked was a simple, coherent plan. Their opponents, on the other hand, had a crystal clear, simple strategy. And ultimately, that's what made the difference. So, how does all this apply to the world we live in today with the explosion of AI? Well, let's put this whole framework to the test and see how it holds up against the most powerful technological accelerator of our time. Let's be really clear. AI is a total game changer. There is no doubt about that. But it's not a magic wand. It's not going to fix your broken business model. It is the most powerful tool we've ever seen. And just like any tool, it's going to take whatever you're already doing and just amplify it, for better or for worse. This table right here shows the two very different faces of AI. In a disciplined, focused company, AI is an incredible force for good. It helps you cut costs, improve quality, and serve customers better. But in an undisciplined company, AI is a recipe for disaster. It becomes innovation theater, just a way to look busy and create the illusion of progress while nothing really gets done. So, how do you know if a particular AI tool is right for your company? Here's a super simple checklist. Does it actually make you faster without sacrificing quality? Does it make your decisions smarter and clearer? If the answer to those is no, and it's really just for show, like for branding, so you can say, we are AI first, then it's probably not worth your time or your money. If you remember just one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this. Technology is a mirror. It doesn't lie. It will show you the unvarnished truth about your company, warts and all. And if you don't like what you see in that mirror, don't blame the mirror. You have to fix the underlying problems first. So the next time you're thinking about investing in some new technology, I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. Is this going to be an accelerator or is it going to be an anchor? Is it going to help you move faster and become more successful? Or is it just going to weigh you down? The answer to that question could be the difference between greatness and mediocrity.